Hello everyone, in this tutorial I'm going to teach you how to make a single welt pocket. Some people call it back pocket, trouser back pocket, whatever you call it. In this tutorial I'm going to teach you how to make it, and this is the simplest method ever. If this is something you're interested in learning, make sure you wait till the end of this tutorial, and I promise you are going to learn how to make it. So let us go straight to the point. Now I've already made my gummies, I've already gone with my gum stay, and I've made my ruling. So let me explain it to you. So you can see this line is 1/4, and by the time you put them together it should give you 1/2 inch. So let me just show you that. You can see both of them should give you 1/2 inch because the size of what I want to do is 1/2 inch, and this bottom, the down one, you also after that 1/4 inch you measure another 1/4 inch. So this one will be at the top, and this one that has 1/4 and 1/2 will be at the bottom, which is what is going to make the main pocket. So let us make our drawings. So I'm just going to draw a straight line at this point to connect both of them, and that is the starting of our pocket. That's where our pocket is going to start from. And on both of them I'm going to measure the size of my pocket. In this case the size is 5 inches I mean. So 5 inches on both sides. You can see that. You also rule your line. So if you want to do a shorter one, 4 inches, after that first line you measure 4 inches. If you want to do a bigger one, 6 inches and above, you just measure accordingly. And if the size of the pocket you want to do is more than half, you are going to just divide it by 2 and put half on one side and put half on the upper part. So I'm going to start sewing from here, and what I'm sewing is the first line, which is the 1/4 inch line, and I'm going to start sewing from that first mark. And one important thing is, when you are sewing, make sure you reinforce at the beginning. You can see what I mean by reinforce is this back and forth. That is what I mean by reinforce. At the end also you do it. You see what I'm doing, back and forth. You can see it. You do it. It is very important that you do that. It is very, very important that you do that reinforcement. You can see it at the both parts where I reinforce. You can see how thick they are. It's very, very important. If you don't do it well, after a while, after maybe a single wash of that trouser or whatever you are sewing it on, maybe a suit, after a single wash, it is going to tear at that point. So you need to reinforce. So you do the same thing to the top, reinforce, and then you continue. When you get to the end, you also reinforce. So you just cut all your threads. Now you can see how they are all equal. No one is longer than the other. This is how it should be. So what you are going to do now is you are going to just cut it. Just do it this way and cut it like so, and then you open it. Now what you are going to do is you are going to turn it this way and cut it. But before you do that, make sure you open this part, because you don't want to cut it. Open it this way. You can see my hand is supporting it to make sure I don't cut it. When you get to the end, now this part is very important also. You notch and stop at this point. You can see I'm bringing my camera very close, so you can see where I'm stopping it. If you go further than this, it's a problem. If you go beyond this, if you pass this point, it's a problem. You have to get it right. You can see, stop it. You can see where I stopped. You have to get it right. If it's too far, it's a problem. If it's too close, if it passes that point, it's a problem as well. So you have to get it right. So you see, you use your hand to support it, to open it. Again, you can see, stop it. You do the same thing here. So this is very important. You use a scissors that whose mouth, that tip is very sharp. So you start by pushing the top one, which is the one that carries only one line, the 1/4 line. So you turn it this way, and this point you push it upwards like so. You can go to the table and iron it upwards, not like this. You push it upwards like so. I don't want to go to the ironing table, that's why I'm using my hand. You can see the reason why we are pushing this up is to create a room for the pocket. You can see there's a room, sort of a room for this one to relax in. So let me just push it up so that you can see that room is no longer there. I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to explain. So you push it upwards, iron it, and make sure that there's a room for the pocket to fill in. You understand? If there's this triangular stuff, you push it inside. You can see I almost made a mistake at that point. So what you're going to do is this point, you turn it like so and you stitch it. You can see that. You see it. You stitch it together. So you can see the stitch I did. Now you can now push it inside as well. See it. So you can see our pocket is already looking good, even without sewing or ironing. So you just arrange it properly. The next thing you're going to do is you're just going to sew this triangular stuff, and let me just use my pen to explain to you how you are going to sew it. So you are going to start from this end and end at this side. You see it? Straight like so. And make sure you also reinforce this point, because if you don't reinforce it, again with time is going to tear off, because imagine it's a pocket, so your hands will be going in and out of it. If it's not so strong, it's going to wear out and lose at some point. So you can see it. I almost made a mistake here, but I can just use my hand to correct it, or an iron. You can see it. See it. So you can see the way the pocket just filling because of that point. And now this is what I mean by it. It creates a room for it to just relax in. You see that? I almost made a mistake here. That's what I'm trying to explain here. But I can just correct it with my hands. But of course, you can just try not to make a mistake. Now what you're going to do, you open it and you do the same thing here. Sew it and reinforce. Reinforce. And that's it. So you can see how neat the pocket is, even without ironing it. You can see how it is very simple, right? So this is it basically. If you've not followed this channel and this video just pops up, I teach a lot of things for free on my channel, on this page. So just make sure you follow me and give this video a thumbs up and share it to your audience. Thank you so much. If you've watched up to this point, you can see how neat it is. I would like to see it. If you've done something like this, you can share it in the comment section and I'm going to reply and tell you well done, or laugh at you if it's not fine. See you in the next one.